hope you all are doing well. I hope everyone is feeling good. Guten Tag. Guten Tag then. As you can see, we're currently on some rest. I'm still doing my progressions on here. And we're just trying to have a good time. We're trying to chill. I got partial rated today. Or last night. Of course it was an offline because they refuse to ever raid me while I'm online. It's really odd how that works out. But yeah, they decided to offline raid me again. And they blasted through 2 of my doors. And then they didn't blast through the main one. And as well as that, they nearly destroyed my furnace. And that kind of gave me the idea that, oh hey, actually, you know what? I'm going to expand today. Fuck it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get that second floor built. Which means that I need a lot of stone. Which means that I need to find some stone to mine in the first place, which is progressively getting more and more difficult somehow, despite the fact that I have constantly spent more and more time looking for it. I'm finding more sulfur than I'm finding stone, and it's slightly irritating. Either way, though, I have a idea for what I want to do for the second floor. This is going to be one of our exits, and I want my other exit to be out this way. I want it to be like right here. So let's depot what we have. Get that stuff smelting because we have a lot of sulfur to smelt as of currently. Let's get it smelting, and then we'll go from here. Toss those in there. Anything in here, we'll take you out of there. Actually, you know what? We'll just put these in separate ones. That way we don't have to worry about it. Okay. Let's grab like 1,000 wood for each. But I have a... Oh, didn't mean to do that. I have a general idea and consensus on kind of what I want to do with it. But it's a little funky. I won't lie to you guys. It's very iffy, to say the least. Let me close this door. So yeah, I'll show you guys exactly what they rated. So, open this. Wait a minute, what if they put a bag in here? I didn't fully check this. Okay, they didn't because they're complete idiots. Whoever raided me is stupid. Because they raided into this room, and then they just stopped raiding. They didn't even damage this door at all. Speaking of which, actually, let's check the players on the game right now. Hog... I think I recognize both of these two, and possibly that guy. But we're going to build up the second floor. We're going to have 2 exits. We're going to have one over here, and we're going to have one over here. As you can see, we're already starting the exit to an extent. But, yeah, purely just so that I can have this whole entire upstairs area closed off. And as well as that also, me adding 2 different exits means that, first of all, they're not going to know which one's the quickest, which neither of them are going to be. And then on top of that, they're also not going to realize, oh, hey, well, they're going to have to realize that, oh, hey, door rating isn't really the trick here. Then I'm going to honeycomb this out further, and all that stuff. I eventually want to get a 3rd floor up. The only issue is I want all of this stuff to be expanded, but I can't find a stone node to save my life, dude. Actually, I know a place that stone nodes spawn. We'll see if there's any over there in the first place, but we'll try it. Large oil rigs online. Do you have to call in oil rig and shit? Yeah, I think you do. Which is kind of odd, because why are they doing that? Whatever. But, yeah, we've got one base actually near us that's, like, even a threat to me. And I'm pretty sure it's the same exact base that's near me that keeps on raiding me. Every single time I'm offline. I think it's them who's constantly just coming into my home and trying to wreck it. Look, their name is Ralph. But at some point soon, I'm probably going to raid them. If I'm being honest. Just so I can get them off of my nuts. Because I don't like just sitting here and getting raided over and 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 over. I will not lie to you, it is not the funnest thing in the world, and well, obviously it slows progression, but at the same time, it's also just stupid because there's not many people on the server as is, and you are just constantly raiding the only other people on here. Now, granted, that may just be their goal, and if that's the case, then so be it, dog. You do you, home slice, you do you. And I also thought they were going to stop raiding me because of the fact that I stayed on the server. Like, despite them slowing my progression, despite them doing this, despite them doing that, I still stayed on the server. And they still decided to raid me, so I was trying to be nice and not raid them and just let us both progress or do whatever they wanted to. I was like, you know, whatever. We'll just let everything be. Everything will be at peace, everything will be chill, we don't have to worry about it. They don't want to do that, and I don't really care to do that anymore. Because I don't necessarily fully have an issue with the guys. It's just, if y'all are gonna constantly raid me only whenever I'm offline, first of all, that's hella odd, and that's hella weird. I don't know what the purpose in that is. Because you're just kind of raiding me just to do it. And at that point, like, fair enough, but at the same time, you don't benefit anything from it. You don't really gain anything because I'm not really going to be able to give you much. You guys have, like, a whole entire clan compound. And, like, maybe their whole goal is to opposite what I'm doing, which is just progressing on the server. Getting BPs, getting stuff built up, all of that crap. Knowing where the, like, shit spawns, like, all of that shit. Maybe that's their whole entire goal, is to just counteract that. And if that's the case, then fair play, because that is exactly what they're doing. And I most certainly respect it to an extent, because it's like, if you're doing all of that just to try to stop me from progressing on the server, then, like, goddamn, dude. Now, granted, it hasn't really worked, if I'm being honest with you. They've halted my progression to an extent in very certain parts, but other than that stuff, they haven't really stopped me from progressing in the way that I want to, or progressing in general. That's basically all I've been doing, is just progressing. So, I don't know. If they want to stop me from progressing, there's a lot better ways to do it than what they're doing currently. With them having the whole ass clan compound, I would expect for them to at least, like, you know, do like a full-on, like, raid on me, or like wipe out my foundations, or like something like that. you know, something you'd expect from the big clan who wants to raid you and get rid of all your stuff and wants to stop you from progressing. But they haven't done that. Now maybe they're just trying to mess with me, which if that's the case, then so be it. Like, I don't really know. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of silly. I just find it kind of dumb the way that they're going about it, because, like, to halt or slow my progression, there's a lot better ways to do it. Like, they could literally just TC grief me, and that would slow down my progression by so much, because I'd have to get rid of said TCs. Otherwise, I'd have to just kind of just let them sit there, and that's not really a good idea, because then they have TCs right outside of my base. Like, as of currently, they have a lot better options than what they're doing. Yeah, they're still doing the same thing. They keep on killing this guy up here and getting him worse trades. That's also stupid. I remember there being a lot more nodes spawned out here last time. There was like one sulfur node over there. There's my stone node. There we go. Oh my, did they finally close off their gate? No, they didn't. Okay. That is, I'm pretty sure, where they're coming from to raid me. And I think at some point soon, I have some C4. I'm just going to... I don't know how many it takes to break down one of those concrete walls, but I think I'm just going to do it just to try to get inside of there, or... like, kind of as a sign to make them stop, even if I don't fully enter their base. Just kind of break one of their walls down, get near their main core, or if I can, get into their core in itself and just steal their shit and make sure that they don't raid me again. So, well, from what I can tell, they've got a tier 3 in there, and that's going to really help my researching stuff, because then I can just research all of the tier 3 weapons. I have, I think, 2 or 3 of them already researched. Like, I'm researched somewhat decently into tier 3, but just researching all of that stuff would make it so much easier. Dude, and also, I understand at launch of it why some people were complaining about it, but low-key, dude, I wish the blueprint fragment stuff was in console. Like, I don't know if that's like a crazy hot take or if I'm gonna get burnt at the stake for that. But like, it looks like it's so much more fun to progress from that rather than just constantly having to collect so much scrap all the goddamn time. To the point where it's just like, it feels like it's not even worth it. And also, then it pushes you to go hit monuments more than just playing the regular game does, especially as a solo or especially as a group. Now, like, granted, that could also be looked at as a bad thing, because then you're forced to go hit it. But technically, you're not forced to hit anything. Like, you can make a lot of stuff with just the stuff that you have in Tier 1. Like, a lot of trap bases do not require you to have auto turrets. A lot of trap bases do not require you to have a ton of, like, the research stuff into Tier 2. And even the ones that do, like, you should at least get a Tier 2 before you do those. And, like, even then, it's not too difficult because you just have to go hit monuments. Like, it's not, like, impossible to do some of the stuff on there, as some people treated it on launch. And that's That's kind of something that I realized watching more and more. Like, because granted, the people who I watch are pretty skilled players. Don't get me wrong. Like, some average players are not going to be able to pull off what these players are going to be able to in, like, their first day on a wipe. But, like, if you have, like, a decent bit of one day that you can dedicate towards this one wipe, it is not too hard to get a tier 2 with the blueprint fragment stuff. And, like, from what I can tell, that's kind of cool. Because, like, granted, you can get tier 2 workbench just fine on one day solo Rust as well. But from what I remember, I think that they lowered the scrap cost to be able to get a, like, workbench purely because of the blueprint fragments. And, like, that is the thing that takes you the longest time, is the scrap. So the fact that they lowered that, from what I can remember at least, because of the fact that you have blueprint fragments now, like, that's not even terrible. And also, it makes you have to have a different playstyle too. Like, if they added that to Rust console, I would be very happy, because it makes you have to actually go out and play for monuments. It makes you have to actually go make plays. Go hit, like, military crates. Go hit junkyard way more. Go hit water treatment plant. It also gives even more reason for the high tier keycards. Because, like, if I'm being honest right now, I don't really find much purpose in hitting, like, the blue keycard at water treatment plant. Or hitting even sometimes the green keycard. Because other than just getting the higher tier keycard, there's not much true benefit to doing it. Like, I don't know, it sounds kind of stupid, and I could understand that, but, like, other than getting the higher tier keycard and gaining the accessibility to that, which, like, sure, you could say, like, that's the whole entire point, but, like, you don't really gain much. If you could gain blueprint fragments from those, which you can on PC, every single keycard you can gain, you are guaranteed at least a blueprint fragment. And, like, the higher tier, the more, and, like, the better one, obviously. All that stuff. Like, you are allowed way more stuff because you went and hit those monuments on PC as compared to console, where you, like, will get, like, an SMG body or, like, an AR body or something like that. And, like, that stuff's cool. Don't get me wrong, like, that stuff's really nice to get, because then you can make one, but at the same time, your main thing is scrap, and unless you're getting a ton of tech trash and you're recycling it, you're not going to get a lot of scrap. Which, I mean, you could also say is a benefit to those is that you're likelier to get said tech trash and stuff like that, but I think that's also a cheap out way of doing it, because I think if that's your case, then they should just give you overall more scrap every single time you go and hit those. Or they should do the blueprint fragments, which makes the scrap cost for a lot of that stuff cheaper. Like, I think that the blueprint fragments solve a lot of issues with the game in itself. And from what I can tell, it looks like it makes the game a lot funner. And makes the game a lot more enjoyable. Could that possibly be just my opinion? Yeah. And I'd be fine with that, because I think I'm going to stick to this opinion. Like, sure, they make passive players have to actually go and hit monuments and stuff like that, which does suck, but a good majority of Rust players aren't even close to passive players. A good majority of them are really rude and very harsh players. And are very aggressive, who want to raid you immediately if you do anything wrong to them. So for me, it's like, yeah, I feel bad for the passive players who lose some of their like gameplay choices. But at the same time, a good amount of players are not those. Like, a decent majority of players are not passive players. And so it makes it really difficult for me to agree with that point, because it's like, I can get where you're coming from, for sure. I think that's a fair and justified point. But at the same time, how many of these players that you're talking about are truly that playstyle? It's not as many as some people act like it is. Which does suck, because it's like, hey, you know, now you're just getting screwed over because of the fact that, you know, you got to deal with all of this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes you have to make that playstyle worse for the betterment of the rest of the entire game. Which I won't lie to you, it is to some people a crappy way to look at it, and that would be fair. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, you can't sit here and tell me that, you know, a solo player having to actually go out and farm for stuff and crap like that. You can't tell me that like making a solo player have to actually go and hit monuments and stuff like that is a bad thing. Because, like, granted, does it make it more difficult for them? Yeah, and I can agree on that 1000%. But at the same time, I also think that that's a good thing. And that is arguably for the betterment of the game. Now you may ask me, like, oh, how so? Well, because if the game was purely catered towards the solo players you're talking about, the game would lose a decent amount of its player base. Especially to the extent that it's making it easier for the solo players. And even to that extent, that argument's also flawed in my opinion, because in all reality, the blueprint stuff makes it easier for solo players. Because other than when, like, the clans hog them, like day one or something like that, the solo players have it way easier than the clan players do. Because they just have their one player go out and run the blueprint frags, and then boom, they're done. Then they don't have to worry about the blueprint stuff at all. And, like, it's as simple as that, really. Like, it's a very simple sort of situation that a lot of players look at as a bad thing in a way. And I could understand that to an extent, but at the same time, to an extent also, this stuff makes the game better overall. For every other player involved, not just the solo players. And so, like, I could definitely get your argument there, and I think it's very understandable to feel that way, especially about, like, oh, hey, you know, make it easier for solo players and stuff like that, because the solo players are also a decent amount of the players in the community. I would agree with that 1000%, man. But at the same time, you also have to account for the fact that solo players aren't the only players in the community. And they're not even close to the majority. And so that's kind of just my argument against it in general. It's just the fact that I understand what you're saying, and I understand why you feel that way about the game. Why you feel that way for solo players and stuff like that. 1000%. And I think it's understandable. Didn't mean to destroy that at all. Because I also think that sometimes solo players have it harder than anyone else does in the game. And that's just kind of the nature of the game. But granted, like I just said, that's also just kind of the nature of the game. Like, the solo players can't just have it easier than the rest of the players in the game, really, just because they usually have it harder. That's not how the game works. That's not going to correlate well with the game and with the game's identity and with the game's, playstyle. Because a majority of the players in this game are not solo players. Like, there's a reason why big clans can get as big as they are. That's just because of the fact that big clans take up majority of the player base. So that's at least my way of looking at it is, at least in this situation, I think that it's better for the big clans, and I think it's better for the smaller clans too, or the smaller player groups and stuff like that. Because just overall, that stuff works better when it fits both of those playstyles. And I think that the blueprint frags and all that stuff work better in that case. That's my TED Talk for today. But, no, man. I don't know. Let me know what your guys' opinion on that is. Because I would be very curious to hear that. Because I don't know if people's ideas on it have changed since release. Since it first was initially introduced. I don't know if people feel differently about it now, or like, what exactly do you guys feel about it? So, for sure, let me know, because I am very curious. Now, this build takes a lot of stone. And if I'm being honest, I didn't realize how much stone it did take. Because, holy hell, that is a lot. Now, this is a situation where I wish I had a jackhammer. Because I need to go out and farm a lot of stone. Because I also need to farm for upkeep. And as well as that, also I need to farm for, just general. Because upkeep, and I still have to finish upgrading a lot of the different walls. So, yeah. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna find some stone, we're gonna try to gather up some stuff, and yeah. Oh, my back. But, no, man. Like, and I also think it would give a lot more reason to hit the, green card terminals and, like, the green card areas. Because, like, the main, if, for some people, only reason you hit those now is purely just to get the blue card. And then you hit the blue card purely just to get the red card on console. And now, that could still very well be the case on PC, but I think that having an extra reason to hit those, especially early game, such as getting blueprint fragments, is something that's really helpful and really pushes the progression to push you to going and getting more stuff. And I think overall that's a good thing. And I think that overall that's a good way for the game to work out and work in that sense. Like, I think that it works out better when that is the case. Now, obviously, they'd have to test that in the public test branch and blah, 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 blah. Speaking of which, actually, that pushes me to my next thing that I wanted to talk about. Public test branch. I am thinking about purchasing the public test branch. Like, buying it while it's on sale. Like, buying the deluxe edition so I can get it. Because the public test branch, not only one, allows for a lot better content, because there's so much more stuff to talk about, and there's a lot of stuff that's coming to console that, I mean, like, just overall, you can't experience currently. Like, the 125 pop servers, you can't experience those unless you have public test branch as of right now. And that sucks. And I will be honest, I wish that they would add dedicated servers into the base game. Purely so that you could experience those specific things. And that they would be classified under the PTB, like, oh hey, public test branch. Because if I'm being honest, I don't think that the public test branch is a public test branch right now. It is mostly just a way for people to buy the deluxe and ultimate edition. And then once people buy the deluxe or ultimate edition, then hey, you get the public test branch, but you don't really get like all of these extra like bonuses for hitting, like for buying it and stuff. You just get the public test branch, which I think is an overall like cool reward and is an overall like cool thing to have. And I wish more games did that for especially console players. And I also don't know if that's like a thing for PC or not, because I'm not on PC. I don't have a PC, and I don't have PC Rust, especially, so I don't fully know if that's exactly the case of what's going on over there. Because if that is the case, and that's the same thing, and that's the same thing for PC players, then that's cool. I mean, shit, if it's the case for both groups where, oh hey, you have to get deluxe, and then you can get the public test branch, and you test out these different things, I think that that's cool, and I think that that's fine in that case, but I don't know if exactly that's what's going on. Because if it is, then so be it, man. Now, I will also say that I am kind of upset about Rust Console Edition, because I want to get the Deluxe Edition so I can get the PTB. But I can't get the PTB on a discount because of the fact that it's not registering me as having the discount for owning the base game. Now, I don't know if that's just a thing that Google is lying to me about, supposedly supposed to be able to receive, or something like that, but everywhere I've looked and everywhere I've asked, people have said, yeah, you're supposed to get a discount for, you know, owning the base version of the game and then trying to purchase the deluxe after that. I wish that there was a straight up upgrade to the deluxe edition, but there's not that in the game. And I also do not have the, you know, discount for owning the base game, which is starting to get really frustrating because of the fact that I want the PTB. I want to be able to buy the deluxe edition for a cheaper price so that I can access the PTB. And I'm willing to buy it. Like, I'm willing to spend my money on the game for that. But, you know, I'm not willing to spend nearly full priced for the game again. Is that a player on a horse? I think that is exactly what I just saw. But either way, the game is currently on sale for like 50% off or something like that. And this might be my best chance to get the deluxe edition because otherwise it's going to come off a sale. And I'm going to be majorly screwed. Which would not be a good thing. So yeah, we very well may start making some public test branch content very soon. But it will obviously depend on if I get the public test branch in the first place. Which, if I'm being honest, I think I'm to the point where I might as well, purely because the content purposes, and as well as that also just the bonuses to it. Like, oh hey, I get to try out 125 pop servers. Like, I want to do all this, I want to do all that. But, yeah, we're going to get back, we're going to finish our upgrades off, hopefully, and I think I'll end the, recording here. Just because, oh hey, we've done a lot of beneficial farming. And I've also possibly found another live player on the server. Who's roaming around over here on a horse. So yeah, we'll see. But let's make it back to base. Depot, and then yeah, we'll be good. Ooh, I also need to go out and create another bag or two. I do not have any extra bags around here. What is this? Oh, that's water treatment. Okay. But that was just someone's random, like, little, like, 2x2 or 3x2. It's like, who would even build this here? Like, what purpose would you even have for that? Alright, let's make it back to base. That's sulfur. I don't want sulfur. We have plenty of that at base. Ooh, actually, speaking of that, we need to use that sulfur. I need to make explosives and bombs. Because that base over there needs to be raided somewhat soon. Because otherwise, it is going to be a very bad situation for me to leave that up. Because they're just going to keep on raiding me in return, and I don't want that. I would rather not have that happen. I would rather just be at peace and let each other progress. And just let each side just, you know, gain the whole time rather than, you know, have people raid you and you have to rebuild all your stuff and all that crap. But, oh, I have to make a jump up here. I had to build this out a little bit, because there we go. That jump up is quite crappy indeed. Oh yeah, for freehand in this, I am very happy with how I've progressed this base. I am very, very happy indeed. Because I've actually, like, created my own base design for once. And it wasn't crap. It wasn't absolute dog doo-doo. From what I can tell, it's actually a pretty decent design. And overall, in comparison to how some of my other base designs have worked out, I will take that. I will take that 1,000 out of 1,000 times. Because it actually works as a base. Or at least that's my opinion. It works out as an actual base. Now, maybe not the best solo base in the entire world, because how much it costs to upgrade and to build in general, but I'm also pretty sure I can add a bunker to it. If I'm being honest, I'm not fully sure how. But I'm pretty sure that I can. And that's kind of sick, bro. And we've got some left over for upkeep. Nice. We'll have to go out and farm some more, because that is not nearly enough for upkeep, but... Wait, actually... You know what I could do instead of having that for upkeep? Oh, also I need to go out and farm some wood at some point soon, too. So I have like one of these stacks. Just go around and upgrade some of this stuff. These walls and stuff like that, I can upgrade to metal. Floor, I can upgrade to metal. All that stuff. One that keeps the upkeep down for my stone ever so slightly. But it also keeps the upkeep high on my metal. Which I prefer it that way. I would prefer it to cost more metal to have, like, you know, be upkeep. Because I'm finding more metal than I am stone. Like, an absolute crap ton more, if you can't tell by me constantly having metal smelting almost in every single video I've recorded in here. But like my stone, I'm not finding jack crap for the stone. Not hardly at all, Doc. Which is quite tragic indeed. Oh, wait, I have nearly maxed out silver in there. Nearly maxed out coal in here. All those in there, toss this in here. You know what? We do in fact have the option to build some explosives very soon. So we can go raid the base, but... How much does it even cost to craft satchels in the first place? Oh, 240 gunpowder. That's crazy. You know, while we have the chance, let's get some bean cans crafting. So we do have this leftover metal in here, and we have no real reason to keep it. We build 10 bean cans in the house. $10, $11, $13, $14, $15. We got 15 crafting. We need 7 more metal frags. So we need a stash and we need some rope. Which we can come in here. Grab the rope. Here. And we also need some cloth because we need to go in here. We'll build like 3 stashes. Well, no, we need more than that because we need 5. There we go. Then that should correlate with what bean cans I'm crafting. Not bean bags. That doesn't even make sense. seem quite good indeed. So we'll remove those and that one. Let our stashes craft and all that stuff, and then start making our satchels. Do I have more rope, actually? Ooh, I do! Holy crap, you can carry a lot of rope at one time. That's insane. Loki had no clue about that, gosh dang. Well, the satchels don't even take long at all. It's just the bean cane grenades that take forever to craft. That is so silly. And the thing is I don't even know if this is like able to break through a stone wall. Okay, so we have our satchels now. Do you have any more gunpowder crafted? A little bit here. And more of it in here. Nope. There's a lot of it we can craft. Alright. I'm not just going to show you guys me building a ton of satchels for an hour. So, I think I'm going to end the video here. Ooh, wait, we can toss the satchels in there. Dude, that would be a crazy raid defense. You use satchels to defend your base. That would be insane. That would actually be kind of good, wouldn't it? Because you'd kind of just go for, like, a satchel play instantly. Because, you know, as long as they actually, like, you know, explode. Granted, that is never, ever guaranteed, especially with satchels. Satchels are terrible for trying to guarantee if they explode or not, but whatever. Oh my gosh, so you can put these in there. Okay. Why can you only put them under like this? There we go. All of our explosives, crafting stuff, and all of our explosives in general. Shall go into here. Oh, come on, give me all of them. Where are they at? Oh, there's my silver. I found it. Ooh, I do need to make more syringes. Because I need to be able to heal a lot. Especially if I'm going to go raid that big base over there. Hoo-wee! I'm about to make my name for myself, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Make a game beat. 500, 200, 250, 30. There we go. We've got like over 1,000 crafting right now. Which surprisingly did end up taking all of my sulfur. I thought I was going to have more than enough, but fair enough, I suppose. Oh wait, actually, we have some more here. There we go. Now we're guaranteedly over 1,000. I don't believe we have any more sulfur there now. Okay. Now, how do I want to organize these? I've got no clue if I'm being honest. I think I'm just going to start tossing stuff wherever I feel like it would go. These seeds and stuff like that, I'll go out and plant. I toss my tools and my weapons in here. Don't need a workbench level 1. Here. Just toss all my clothes in crap. 'Cause yeah. Don't know why I have a double wooden door. That makes no sense. Hello? For what? Huh. Why didn't you? Bruh. How much more gunpowder am I crafting? Oh. Then just do it. Like, what? This base design is so peak. No. Yes. And it's not like my other ones where they're like actually terribly crafted. Like this one has a place where I can move out to get up to a shooting floor and everything. Ooh, wait, actually. I don't have enough stone. Never mind. I was going to say I could actually expand out to that soon. But I cannot. I don't have nearly enough stone to expand anything in this base at all. For whatever reason, stone is like the hardest thing to come across in this game. And I keep on getting raided, and so I have to use up my stone to fix the raid that they do. And it's not like they do it. I don't know. I think it's some like clan base that's near me. But it's on a server that usually has like 3 players online. So it doesn't even make sense. Because it's like 25 days into wipe. It's the same server we were playing on before. So it's like, it stays very popular until like day like 20. And then it just dies. So that's why I'm on it, is because I'm trying to gather BPs and all that stuff. Bruh. Alrighty. Well, chat, I think I'm going to end the video here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to let me know down in the comments. I appreciate you all. I will see you guys all later. Peace out, Chatterdangos.